Hello, so my name is Erica Brimmer, and I'm here to do my Least We Forget project on Franklin Delano Roosevelt. The Least We Forget project is about a controversial figure in American history that left a mark that is still going to be found still found in history. Franklin Delano Roosevelt is a historical figure that I thought left probably the biggest impact on history and how the government is ran and what type of programs that the government uses still to this day. The sources that I'm going to be using, they're about him, the home front, what was the decision process, and how everything went with that. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was born on January 30th, 1882 at Hyde Park in New York City, and he died on April 12, 1945 in Warm Springs, Georgia. He led the American through the Great Depression, the New Deal, Pearl Harbor, even World War II. He led us through. He got the New Deal to pass through Congress to set up programs. About his life, the young Roosevelts began their political views in Albany and soon moved on to Washington, where the Roosevelts became Assistant Secretary of the Navy under Woodrow Wilson. So he spent all his life pretty much in government, so he knew what he was getting into when he became the 32nd President of the United States. He also strengthened the military. Almost 4 million men had been added to the Army in 1942, bringing the total strength from 1.6 million to 5.4 million, which he was also very big in strengthening the military and having a strong system to fight. But with the war, we were still fighting the Great Depression at home. Almost 10 million Americans, 17% of the workforce, were without jobs. About 2.5 million found their only source of income through government programs. Those government programs he also set up through the New Deal. The New Deal helped regain the government system, which helped the economy. Why he got himself into the history books is that he put us into war, but during his four consecutive terms, which is 16 years in office, he was able to put us in war, but he was also able to get us out of the war. The programs that FDR made that got through was the Social Security Board, which is still found today in the government, the Security and Exchange Communism, the Federal Housing Administration, which gives loans to people that need help to get housing for anything that they need. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation was also created when he was president, which was also created under the Banking Act of 1933, which helped secure the banking industry, which helped secure where the money was going and helped the banks become more stable. With Pearl Harbor, it would take the attack on Pearl Harbor and the American entry into the war to create a repetitive audience for the Rutherford's vision of mass production airplanes and automobile plants, which that also helped the economy because they were able to create airplanes in the automobile, which also helped create more jobs. It helped create everything to help the economy get back on track. And the New Deal. The New Deal was rejecting the traditional notion that the government was the handmaid of business. The New Deal Congress had enacted the unpredictable series of laws which regulated the security market, established a minimum wage, originated a new system of Social Security, and grant labor rights, which helped the rights of the people who worked. So it set a minimum wage So the people were not working in unfair conditions. They were all getting paid similar, and it helped regulate everything. The New Deal was there to set standards, and it helped bring everything. So Roosevelt really did good for the government and helped set things up for success in the future. And we're still seeing his legacy live on through this day. Why he should be remembered, my case on why he should be remembered in the 21st century is that he held the office for four consecutive terms, but he is the only president to do so, which is 16 years. He's the president that changed everything. How the government's run, how we look at our programs. He was the president to get us out of the Great Depression, the worst time in American history. And he grew the military size. FDR is probably one of the most looked upon president that did good in American history. So that is all I have. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed.